Hey guys, Rich here. Now I want to have a chat with you about something that's been on my mind for literally years. I'm not sure I need to say literally, but you get what I'm trying to say. Years and years ago when I started, which was probably 13, 14 years ago, when I started life as a professional composer, something was on my mind an awful lot, and that thing was all the things I couldn't do. And that manifested itself as always trying to sound like composers who were already successful, which isn't a bad thing. You know, I learnt an awful lot by copying these guys and girls, of course. And that was really a big learning curve for me, was following these people and seeing if I could produce sounds like them, which was great. But there was a problem with that. I wasn't focusing on my voice. I wasn't focusing on me as a composer. I was thinking, okay, well, I can't do this big Hans Zimmer sound, so let's see if I can. I can't do this wonderful cinematic Thomas Newman sound, so let's see if I can. And I was focused on so much on what I couldn't do, or the things that weren't me. And what happened was I started to get hired to do not sound-alikes, but write in the style of somebody or some film, which is very common for aspiring starting out composers, and even for well-established composers. You know, still get reference tracks in your jobs. However, when I was doing that, the income from my music would kind of meandered along. I was getting paid, it was good, I was getting money for music, which was a huge win. But it wasn't until I flipped that idea that I started to get really great work. And not just get work that paid well, but also produce great work. And what I started to do was just focus on the stuff that I found fun, and specifically the stuff that I could do. And what that took the form of was, okay, well, I've only got these sample libraries, so let's focus on those rather than worrying, oh, I don't have that big brass library, oh, I don't have that big percussion library. I said, well, okay, well, I've got these instruments in the back here, which sound amazing. Let's produce some music with them. And what happened was this. That magical limitation of focusing on what I could do, and yes, it is a limitation, meant that I had to be more creative with what I had. And that takes the form of being more creative with my musical knowledge, which obviously extended itself to me developing my own way of writing very quickly because of the way my mind works, i.e. patterns or sonatas, riffs, whatever you want to call it. I started to focus on patterns, and I became very, very quick at writing in a certain way, which was fantastic for me because my output increased hugely. Now, the next thing was obviously my limitation on my knowledge there. My second thing was limitation on the sounds. I thought, okay, well, I'll just use these libraries, which, for instance, example here being writing piano music. I didn't really have a library I liked, except for this one little one called Felt Piano by Spitfire Labs. And I used that to write the basis for the first 5 Piano Works albums for Elephant Music, which I wrote in about 4 weeks, by the way. Because I felt so inspired by this huge limitation. The limitation being, I just had this one sound that I liked, and I just had the way that I liked writing. And I wasn't thinking, oh, how would this composer do it? How would this film look with this music? I was just going, well, this is awesome. I'm really, really enjoying this. And this is what you guys need to do. You need to focus on the stuff that you can do and what you enjoy. And what you'll notice is when you embrace those limitations that you have, be it in stock sample libraries, be it in your knowledge of music, be it in instruments you have, once you embrace those limitations, you'll find your creativity just goes through the roof. Because what's happening is you're not focusing on what you can't do and what you don't have, i.e. you're not thinking negatively, you're thinking positively. What do I know? What do I have? What can I do? And that positive reinforcement of your skills, your abilities and your tools just means that you approach them with so much more, I want to say another word, but gusto. Gusto, it just came out, I'm sorry. So much more gusto, so much more oomph and passion. And that's what comes through in your music. Once you approach your music with that passion, it comes into it. The energy goes into the sounds. That sound then goes into an email. That email is then picked up by a producer, an editor, whoever it is, and goes, wow, this has got something special and unique about it, because that person has put themselves into their music. And that's what other people pick up on. They don't pick up on, oh, this guy really knows how to do big Hans Zimmer brass. They pick up on, well, that was fantastic. That had a really good energy about it. And that's what you want to try and do. Focus on what you can do. Focus on what you do have. And enjoy it.